everybody, welcome back to Kimchi Cornbread. I'm Sherry. As you can already tell, we are going to be making a really delicious angel food type cake with strawberries. I call this the strawberry cloud cake. It's one of my favorite cakes that my sister and I baked together. We found a recipe somewhere a long time ago, tweaked it a little bit, and it has definitely become a family favorite. So it is a very easy cake to do, but it does take a little bit of finesse and patience, but you will definitely be rewarded. One of the things you will need are an angel food pan or a tube pan, and it has a tube in the center. This helps the cake bake up evenly in the middle, and not all of them come with a removable tube. I do recommend this part because it will help you get the cake out later, because this cake tends to stick on the sides and on the bottom, and you kind of need to work it out a little bit. We're going to make this cake in stages. I will link everything that you'll need down below, and I guess we can just go ahead and follow along. We're going to start off with our dry mix. This is our flour, all-purpose flour. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and then whisk this all together. Now we're going to go ahead and set this aside and work on the egg sugar mixture. Earlier I went ahead and separated 6 eggs. I've got the yolks here right now. Set aside the whites because we're definitely going to be using those in the cake as well. To the egg yolks, I'm going to add granulated sugar, and now that we have our sugar combined, we're going to go ahead and add our lemon juice, vegetable oil, and a touch of water. So our wet batter is thoroughly combined. We're going to bring back our flour, and we are going to mix Alright, so as soon as we get to the part where it all becomes incorporated, you're going to notice a texture change. It's not going to be as easy to stir or mix together, and that is what we're looking for, so you didn't do anything wrong. Alright, so our batter is mixed and combined. We're going to go ahead and set it aside while we work on the next step. So instead of using leavening agents like baking powder, baking soda in the cake, we are using egg whites to help with that. So we are going to go ahead and beat our egg whites into stiff peaks. We've reached stiff peak stage, so now we're going to slowly combine the egg whites into our batter. We're going to start off with a little teeny bit and go ahead and mix this in to get our batter loosened up and ready for mixing the rest of it in. Now with this part, you don't have to be too gentle. Our batter is very sticky, and the whole point of putting the egg whites in now is to loosen it up a little bit, because when we start adding the egg whites in slowly, you don't want to be so rough with it because we don't want to deflate them. Okay? A little bit more egg whites. And now we just want to kind of gently fold the egg whites into the batter. And now we just want to kind of gently fold the egg whites into the batter. And don't worry about getting them fully mixed in. It will happen on its own as we keep slowly incorporating the rest of the beaten egg whites in. At this point, I'm already sure you can tell that this batter is so much easier to work. And we are almost to the baking step. Our oven has been preheated to 325. Now we're going to take an ungreased tube pan. Make sure it's very clean in here, there's no fats. And we're going to spoon in our batter. If we pour it in, it's going to knock all the air out and then the cake won't rise. So we're going to take our time and gently spoon in the batter. I'm ready to put the cake in the oven. I'm gonna bake it for about 35, probably 45 minutes. You want the cake to bake fully in the center, and for this type of cake, it's always better to err on the side of caution and overbake rather than underbake. If you underbake it, when you pull it out to cool, it's gonna flatten and the whole thing will have been ruined. So overbake it slightly, just so that you know it won't deflate. And another thing you can do is gently, if you insert like a skinny skewer on the center, you'll know that it's cooking correctly. If it starts to brown too much, turn your oven down a little bit and just let it go for longer. My cake baked for about 45 minutes. I've already pulled it out, I've let it cool, and I've sliced it in half horizontally. So now we are going to do the final touches, and we're going to make our whipped topping. And we're gonna start off with some heavy whipping cream in a dish and whip it up to about soft peaks. We're at soft peaks right now, so now is the time to add your sugar if you're gonna use some. This is kind of to your desired sweetness. I'm just gonna put a couple tablespoons in. So once you get your whipped topping done, you're gonna take your bottom half of your cake and you're just gonna place a thin layer on the cake. So what I have here is I've already chopped up some strawberries, and I'm just gonna place a thin layer. Now we're just going to put the top of the cake on and press it down gently just to give it a little grip. We don't want to mash all the filling out. And now we just cover the top. And another optional touch is taking 4 strawberries, slicing them in half. And there she is, strawberry cloud cake. I love the texture of the sponge, I love the fruit in it, I love the whipped topping, that it's not too sweet, and this is definitely a crowd pleaser. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you next time on Kimchi and Cornbread.